Hello everyone, Craig DeLewis here once again at the California Republican Party Convention in Anaheim, California, where we are meeting with, talking to leaders in the California Republican Party, candidates for statewide and even local and regional office, and folks who are just making it happen here in the state of California for conservative values. Today, or at this interview, we have the opportunity to have someone who I just told him I listen to him every time he's on in the morning with Armstrong and Getty, which is a talk show in Sacramento, and he brings to the conversation the amount and the understanding of fiscal, accountability and common sense that I think we need to have in our next controller. And with that, please welcome to the program, Mr. Lanhee Chen.
Thank you. Great to be here, Craig. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. You know, first of all, the first thing I thought is, this guy is way too smart to run this.
Maybe I'm way too dumb. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem.
Excellent. So, first of all, just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and then why you decided to run for controller.
Well, I grew up in Southern California. I was born in North Carolina, actually. Moved to Southern California at a very early age. Went to public high school. My parents are immigrants from Taiwan. And then from there, actually went on to Harvard and got 4 degrees. And I lived through the experience. I actually survived, and I actually came out a Republican, which says something, I think, probably about my time there. But I spent a lot of time in fiscal policy over the years. I've taught at Stanford University, started my own small business, been really involved on the financial side of things. And the controller is the chief accountability officer, the chief financial officer for the state of California. And my experience and my background is just a great fit, I think, for what we need. We need somebody who's going to go up there and tell it like it is in terms of what's happening with our state finances. As I see the problem here in California, you know, the California that we are in now looks nothing like the California I grew up in. People are coming to California to leave now. And we got to fix that, and I think we fix that by getting our finances in order, and the controller can do that.
You know, it's funny you say that, because we have a fiscal mess and most people don't even know it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just give me an example of one, maybe 2 examples of that case that if people actually knew, they would lose their mind.
The one I always talk about is $20 billion. That's a lot of money. $20 billion was sent in unemployment insurance benefits to fraudsters in Russia and China, and Scott Peterson, the guy on death row, he got benefits too. And this happened during the pandemic because Gavin Newsom was too lazy or too inept to basically figure out who should have gotten the benefits. $20 billion can pay for a lot of schools, it can pay for a lot of different things. That money's out the door. $70 million in Medi-Cal to dead people in 2019. So just the tip of the iceberg, Craig. I mean, you start looking into these programs and you realize, man, there's a lot of things we could be doing better in California. And it is a fiscal mess. I mean, Newsom talks about we got a big surplus. Listen, if you got a big surplus, but you're spending all of this money in crazy places and you're not delivering for people, that's a problem.
So one of the issues is, as I see it, is the fact that, first of all, most people don't even know what the controller does, and they don't even know who the current controller is.
Yeah.
How can the controller be in control if nobody even...
Well, I mean, that's half the battle. You know, I always say to people, like, 95% of people don't know what the controller does, and the other 5% lie when they say that he does, right? Because people don't actually know what the controller does. But at the end of the day, here is the essence of the argument as I see it. In this office, we need a watchdog, not a lapdog. And too often, we've elected people that just go up there and do and say the same things. They get along to go along. They go along to get along. And that's just not my approach. My approach is we need audits. We need to be very serious about figuring out what it is that's going on in our state, and we need to make that information available to people. And my view is, if you keep sending lapdogs up there, you're going to get $20 billion in fraud. And so you got to send someone up there to ask different kinds of questions. And you know, the crazy thing about it is, I think this argument makes sense to not just Republicans, but Democrats and independents too. You know, I was endorsed by the Los Angeles Times. Of all the publications in the world, the LA Times said, you know what, he's going to be an independent voice for taxpayers. So I think that thing kind of resonates with even Democrats and independents.
Well, and I think, because I honestly believe that fiscally we need to have accountability, because even if you are liberal and want to support liberal programs, you want to make sure that the money that's going in
is solving the problem. Which right now it's not. You look at homeless.
Yeah.
$20 billion on homelessness in the last 3 years we've allocated in the state budget. How's that going for us?
Exactly.
Right?
You know, I'll tell you, you're a candidate that's supported by the California Republican Assembly and the Los Angeles Times. I don't know that I never recall that ever being the case.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks to, number one, your focus on exactly what the job is, right? And your background in your background and how it qualifies you for the job.
Yeah.
So thank you for stepping up.
Thank you.
Because I'm sure there are a lot easier things that you could be doing.
Our state's worth it. Our state's worth it.
It most definitely is.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to the CRA, the conscience of the Republican Party, people who really care deeply about what's happening to our state and to our party. And, it's just great to be here to have this conversation with you.
Excellent. How can folks follow your campaign?
Chen for California is my website, CHEN for California.com. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and sign up for updates. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and would love to come see you when we're in your neighborhood.
Excellent, sir. Thank you once again so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We appreciate all that you're doing. By the way, just so you guys know, if you ever want to find out what's going on, also, we have for all the statewide candidates that we've endorsed, we're setting up pages on our website. Every time they're in the news, they'll be in the news there. Direct links to their website. So please get out and support them. And by the way, when you do, send them a little note. Let them know that the CRA sent you. All right? Okay. Anyway, Lanhee, thank you so much
Craig.
for coming on the program. And I hope you have a prosperous convention.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. We'll see you later.